Hello friends, this is Heda. It's time to set up my new bullet journal, which I will start using in January, but first I need to get to a coffee shop so I can film it for you guys. Here we are at Sugar House Coffee, one of the coffee shops that I used to frequent when I went to university here in Salt Lake City. It's a super chill place, so I felt comfortable filming a video here. I've chosen to use the Tsuki Midnight Garden notebook from Notebook Therapy as my next journal because I've never used a gray notebook before and the velvety cover is super soft. It's an A5 size, so it will be slightly larger than my previous notebook, which is also from Notebook Therapy. I guess I've unconsciously chosen to go for a Christmas theme here with my two notebooks, one green and one red. Before setting up the new journal, I made a little overview over which spreads I wanted to make in the new one. I'm not setting up all of them in this video, but most of them. The first thing I'm doing is to make a little front page here on the first page. This is where you can usually write your name, maybe your contact info in case your journal gets lost, but I went for some simple decoration and I just wrote 2022 under the text that is already on the page. I often find myself stuck in themes when I set up new journals. I usually feel like the initial spreads have to be similar and cohesive, but this time I have thrown that completely out the window. I'm just thinking of each and every spread as their own thing, isolated from the rest, and this actually helped me a lot because I felt like I had more freedom to experiment with color and different themes. I also wanted to use a lot of stickers and washi tape and ephemera from various small businesses and other companies that I like, so by not going with one theme, I was able to use a lot more of my stationery. On this page, I am using washi tape from Nicole Josephine, stickers from La Dolce Vita and Cozy Curiosities, and ephemera from Olinka Studio. I used my new Tombow Mono fine liners to draw some branches. I actually didn't bring any fine liners with me to the US because I wanted to try some new brands, so I bought these Tombow fine liners at Michael's and so far I'm very happy with them. The final touch to this page was a sticker from Cozy Curiosities that says "Tomorrow is waiting," which I thought was very fitting for a bullet journal. I am going to skip the next page for now, but don't worry, I'll come back to it at the end. Next up is the spread that I consider to be the most important one for me, and that is the future log. A future log is a yearly calendar where I have room to write down future appointments, events, birthdays, etc. It's an overview of the entire year to come, or rather the next 6 months, because I'm making two nearly identical spreads, one for the first 6 months of the year and one for the last 6 months of the year. Like in my previous journal, I am using calendar stickers from Olinka Studio, and I can't express enough how helpful it is to use calendar stickers for my future log, because writing out all the months of the year takes a lot of time, and too much writing all at once makes my wrist hurt. So by using stickers, I am eliminating that problem. And it also means that I can layer them. So I decided to do a little collage on top of the spread, kind of behind the calendars. In the area below each calendar, I'll be writing down important dates. I usually start by writing in birthdays, since those are a constant thing every year. And then I move on and write down other dates and events. It's not super important to me that all the dates are in order, so that's why I don't need a lot of room to write in my future log. If I wanted all the dates to be in order, I'd have to have 31 rows to write on, and I'd have to make my spread look quite different. I know I sound like a broken record because I always say this, but this is the reason why I love bullet journaling, because I get to make my own planner that fits my needs perfectly, and I get to be as creative with it as I want. The future log is so important to me because I only set up 1 month at a time in my bullet journal, so it is the one place where I can write down things that are happening in the future. I'd love to know if a future log is something that you incorporate in your own bullet journal. To finish up, I am cutting these stickers from Olinka Studio to be 4 centimeters wide, which is the same as the calendar stickers. And then I am putting them on the bottom of each column, which kind of accentuates that there is a column even though there are no borders. In addition to the stickers from Olinka Studio, I am using washi tape from the washi tape shop, which you can see in the top right corner of the spread, and also textured papers and butterfly stamps from Notebook Therapy. I got a stamp pad here in the US, but so far I'm not super happy with it, so if anyone has stamp pad recommendations, I'll take them. All the paper with writing on it that you see in this video is from paper that I ripped out of old books, or that my pen pals have ripped out of old books and sent to me. So far I have book pages from Hungarian, German, Danish, Old Norwegian and English books. I think it's really fun to add this to my journal, even though I have no idea what some of them say. I hope it's not anything offensive. I really like the calendar stickers because first of all they're craft paper, which is nice, but also each month has a little illustration. And if you have trouble coming up with themes for each month, you could totally go off of these illustrations for your theme. I think that would be really fun. They're all kind of ethereal and magical. I also like that they have botanical elements because my notebook is green and it has a moon and some greenery on the cover, so it feels like it fits the overall theme. I guess if you just write in your calendars or use stickers without any decoration on them, another thing you could do is leave a bit of room over or under each month and draw in your own illustration that corresponds with the theme that you chose for that month. I think that could be really fun as well. I'm not quite sure why, but the future log is always my favorite spread to set up in new journals, and I really like how this one turned out with the collage and the stickers. I also didn't have to write a single thing in these two spreads, which is kind of rare. I guess I could have written 2022 somewhere, but it didn't really feel necessary. Since I'm using a lot of different stationery, I will try to remember to put links to everything in the description box below. I have affiliate links and discount codes for some of it, but a lot of it is stuff that I bought from small businesses. This next spread will have a completely different vibe from the previous ones, which is exactly what I meant when I said I threw the concept of themes out the window earlier. I'm using washi tape from the Notebook Therapy Lucky Bag here, which is a deep pink, and this kind of lays the foundation for the rest of the colors that I used in this spread. I'm also using some paper from the Maple Dreams paper pack from Notebook Therapy and more paper from old books to make a collage on the top and bottom of the pages. I guess I should say what the spread will end up being. On the left side, I am going to have a page for some goals for 2022, and the right page will have my word of the year. This spread is mostly decorative because it's not a spread that I will be filling in over the course of the year, but rather one that I can flip to remind myself of my priorities. I've chosen to focus on two main goals for 2022. Last year I put down 3 goals and didn't really reach any of them, so this year I'm going for a bit of a different approach, putting down some main goals and some sub goals. I'll be filling this in closer to New Year's, so I'm not doing that in this video, but you can see I have 2 sections for the goals on the left page. The right page will have my word of the year, but it will also have a drawing that I really wanted to do. 2022 is the year of the tiger if you follow the Chinese zodiac, so I drew myself with a baby tiger. It's the second time I've ever drawn a tiger. The first time was for the sticker sheet that I made for the Notebook Therapy Lucky Bag, if you've seen that. So I kind of just drew an oversized cat with more rounded ears and of course stripes. I don't know if it looks like a tiger or not, but I tried. And for myself, I hadn't actually sketched an outfit before I sat down to film this, so I ended up drawing what I wore that day. For the background, I drew some clouds that kind of matched the clouds in the washi tape, and then I drew a circle behind me and the tiger, representing the year 2022. I also drew some florals coming out from behind the circle because I wanted the drawing to have a bit more details. If it wasn't clear from my content, I do love drawing girls, and I thought that this new journal would feel more personal if I drew myself on one of the very first pages. Personally, I'm born in the year of the rooster, but if you were born in the years 2010, 1998, 1986, 1974, 1962, or 1950, you're a tiger. People born in the year of the tiger are said to be brave and confident, well-liked and charming, and also good at adapting to change and taking on new challenges. So good for you if you're a tiger. But then again, when I look at the description of a classic rooster, it doesn't really match that well with my personality, which is also the case with Western astrology for me. I'm a Virgo, but I don't really think that it matches me that well. So take all this star sign stuff with a grain of salt. The symbolism is fun and interesting anyway, and for some people it helps them stay strong and hopeful for the future. As you can see by now, the word I chose for 2022 is growth. In 2021, I felt a bit stagnant, which I think there can be many reasons for. One of them, of course, being the pandemic. I think maybe we've all felt a bit stagnant because of that. Also, this is my first year not being a student, so I haven't had the same goals to reach towards. I'm so used to always working towards the end of a semester or the end of a year, but now that's gone. And I know that's not unique to me. I guess that most people experience this once they're done with school or studies. I've felt able to experiment with my art, but at the same time I've needed that art to make me money so I could pay my rent. So it's a strange feeling, but I won't get too much into that because this video is all about focusing on the new year and the future, and I am positive that 2022 will be better than 2021, which is why I am setting up this pretty notebook for the new year and focusing on my own growth. And I am also incredibly thankful that I get to make art and share it with all of you because it really gives me so much joy. So don't take this as a complaint because I really love what I do. When it came to coloring the tiger and my self-portrait, I decided to only draw around the edges because I worried it would be too overwhelming otherwise. It also sets the different parts of the drawing apart from each other. I may have bought some Tombow dual brush pens during the Black Friday sale, which I wasn't going to do, but they were just so cheap compared to what they cost in Norway, so I had to. They literally cost like 10% of what I'm used to paying. I also got both the Calligraph pen sets from Art Run Olive, and I found out that the pink brush pens from the Jewel set matched the colors of the Notebook Therapy washi tapes almost perfectly. So I used the blush pink for the circle, and then I used the deep pink for the clouds. I didn't color the flowers and leaves at all, so they wouldn't take too much attention. I also didn't really want to mix in another color. From looking at this spread, I don't think that you'd be surprised to hear that my favorite color combination is pink and yellow. Some final touches to the spread involved some stamps from Notebook Therapy again, because I really want to use more stamps in my journal. They are really fun. I also put in some stickers from Lila Journals, who recently opened her Etsy shop, so I had to support her, of course. I also decided to draw a little squiggly line around the drawing, but I'm not sure why I did it exactly because I don't really think that it needed it. But in the end, I really like how this spread turned out. I think it's super cute and it feels very me. If you have a word of the year for 2022, let me know in the comments what it is and why. I would love to know. I know that not everyone sets up a word of the year or goals for the new year, but I find it very helpful to sit down and think about what I want the next year to be like, so that's why I do it. The next spread is a completely different one, but one that I make in every new notebook. My period tracker hasn't changed at all since I think 2018 because it works so well for me. You'll see that I'm making two sets of trackers, and one of them is actually for 2021. I'm doing it this way because it allows me to see the patterns in my cycle better instead of starting from scratch in January. I think it's kind of funny how sometimes I'll set up my period tracker with just 1 year and other times I'll do 2. It's like every other time I set up a new notebook. I guess I also need variety in my life, so whatever I feel like at the time is the right choice. But yeah, this time I'm going to backfill 2021 on the left page and then I'll be filling in 2022 on the right page. So how this tracker works is I have a small dot for each day of the year, and then I make the dot larger on the days that I have my period. It's very simple and minimal, and it may seem a bit abstract to you since I don't have any text or titles to explain what everything is, but that's just because I've used this tracker so much. I don't really need any extra text. For decoration, I'm using some really pretty stickers from Paper Minty Studio, which have black background instead of white. I think it's really cool, and I think they give the spread a lot more substance since it's mostly just small dots otherwise. The large stickers are opaque vinyl stickers, while the small ones are clear stickers with a black border. I've never seen anything like this, but these are probably my favorite stickers from Paper Minty Studio. I also used washi tape from the washi tape shop, as well as Paper Minty Studio and some decorative paper from Notebook Therapy. I also drew some sparkles to tie the whole collage together, and I drew in all of the dots in the tracker off camera so that you wouldn't have to see me suffer through making 730 dots on this page. I used an 05 fine liner so that I could just lightly touch the pen to the page on top of the dots that are already there, and that way it's not too much work. That's how my period tracker ended up looking, and I like it quite a lot. However, the next spread I made is sadly my least favorite of this whole setup, but sometimes life is like that. In my last couple of journals, my movie and series trackers have been dependent on me printing out photos of movie posters and series posters, but right now I don't have access to a printer, so I decided to try something completely different. I got these movie post-it notes from Kat's Planner in a Penpal letter, and I thought I'd try using them for the spread. They are a bit too large, so I used my X-Acto knife to cut them a bit smaller so that I could fit them to the spread. Scissors would have been easier, but I forgot to bring any, and if you remember, I filmed this at a coffee shop, so I couldn't just go and get scissors. But anyway, I had room for 10 of these post-it notes on the spread after I cut them smaller, and I'm not sure if it will be enough, but at the same time, I haven't been watching that many movies lately, so it might be okay. So on the post-it notes, there is room to write the title of the movie, what date I watched it, a short little review, and then I can fill in however many stars out of 5 stars that I think the movie deserves. I guess I could have easily drawn boxes like this myself, but like I said before, I'm trying to use more of my stationery in this bullet journal setup, so this is just part of it, I guess. On the right page, I also have a small section at the top where I can write down movies I'd like to watch, so that if I'm in the mood for some movie watching one day, I can flip to this page and remember which movies I've been wanting to watch. There wasn't really much room to decorate after putting the post-it notes down, but I used some washi tape and some stickers from Leila Journals, which I bought recently, and I think the stickers really made the spread more lively and fun and not so monotone, and I might start liking this spread more once I start filling it in January. That has happened in the past, so I'm not going to condemn it just yet. Following my movie tracker spread is my series tracker spread. Once again, my past 2 or 3 journals have had little printed photos of posters to show each of the series that I've been watching, but this time I can't do that. However, I'm kind of keeping the same layout as before. I'm just going to draw or write the titles of the shows very nicely, if I can. I made the rectangles for each show a little bit larger than I've used to do since I'll be drawing and writing, so I didn't want to make them too small. But other than that, the system is the same, which you'll see in a second. I tried to make this spread more colorful and playful, so I used washi tape and stickers from Nicole Josephine. She's a Canadian artist that I really admire, so I'm excited to use her products for this spread. I'm also making a collage again using the same papers that I've used in other spreads in this setup. My series and movie trackers tend to end up quite square and kind of strict, so I tried to make this one more playful by putting down more paper and stickers, making it so that I couldn't fit the rectangles all over the spread, if that makes sense. It might make sense in a second when I actually draw the rectangles. I used a green Tombow dual brush pen to write series tracker towards the top of the left page, but I left some room above it for more collaging since apparently that's what I enjoy the most these days. While I work on this spread, let me tell you about some of the series that I enjoyed the most in 2021 because there were some really good ones. I loved Midnight Mass. It was insane and crazy and wonderful. I also loved The Witcher. I can't wait to binge season 2 this month. The 3rd season of Fruits Basket came out, which was the last one, and I loved it so much. It gave me all the same feels as the manga did. I also watched Katla, which is an Icelandic show on Netflix. It was really exciting. I love watching Netflix shows in different languages. I'm really happy that they moved on to making shows in different countries and not just English-speaking ones. Though, speaking of English-speaking countries, Sex Education Season 3 was hilarious, and Gentleman Jack on HBO was another good one, and also 9 Perfect Strangers, which was, I think, on Amazon Prime. That was a crazy ride. And now I'm just looking forward to the new seasons of The Witcher and Stranger Things. Let me know your favorite show of 2021 because I love getting recommendations from you guys. Next up is one of my more practical spreads. This one won't have that much decoration because I need most of the space to write stuff, and this will be my Penpal spread. And how this works is I write down my pen pals' names and addresses, and then I keep track of which date I send and receive letters from all of them. I need to keep their addresses somewhere so that I don't make a mistake or something, and I also think it's practical to keep track of when I receive letters so that I can hold myself accountable if I take too long to respond to them. I am a bit behind on pen pal letters now since I haven't sent any since I came to the US, but I think I'll write some letters over Christmas when I'll take a little break from creating videos and other content. You probably won't notice that little vacation since I am preparing content to release as normal, but I will notice and I will enjoy the time off. I'll spend lots of time playing The Sims 4 and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Animal Crossing New Horizons. Also, I have to apologize about my nose taking all the attention in a lot of this video. I got a new setup for my phone so that it would be easier to film, and it's a bit of a different position that I'm used to. I used to use a tripod and balance it very precariously, taking up the entire table, but now I've got a different kind of contraption and it's very compact and convenient, but at the same time it can be a bit shaky. But I will experiment with some more angles than just top-down view in some future videos, I think, so I think it will work quite well. Anyway, back to my Penpal spread. I used the washi tape from the Notebook Therapy Lucky Charm set again, and I used the Calligraph brush pens from Archer and Olive to color in the top bar of the tables, as well as to write the title My Penpals on the top of the spread. I hadn't really planned for the decoration, but I ended up using some stickers from Notebook Therapy, which always turn out super nice on white paper. If you have a different way to keep track of your pen pal letters and your pen pals' addresses, let me know in the comments. And now I'll be going back to that second page, which I promised you earlier. I didn't decide on what to do with this page until this point, but I ended up making an index page. I just thought it might be nice, and I didn't really have any other ideas for this first page since the first page is always kind of awkward. I used washi tape from the Lucky Charm set again, and then I used the stencil ruler that came in the Notebook Therapy Lucky Bag to make this border at the top, which I think kind of looks like clouds. Instead of using black to make a box, I used the blush pink calligraph pen, which I also used to write in this journal at the top. Index is such a short word and it always turns out looking kind of awkward for me, so I wrote in this journal instead. I won't be writing down every single spread on this page, there obviously isn't room for that, but what I like to do is write down every spread that isn't related to a monthly setup, and then I just write January 22 starts on this page, February starts on that page, if that makes sense. I'm decorating again with some stickers from Leela Journals because her floral stickers are just so pretty and delicate, and they have really muted colors, so they go well with so many different color schemes. And that is the last spread that I'll be setting up in this video, and now we'll do a little flip through so that you can get a bit of a closer look on some of the spreads. It's always fun for me to set up a new journal. It's not just a new planner for me, but it also comes with the promise of a new beginning and a new chance to be a better person. It also makes me reflect on the time that has passed, in this case the whole year of 2021. It's been a difficult year for many reasons, but there has been so many great things too, and I hope that you've all had at least some good things happen in this past year. I'm incredibly grateful that you've chosen to watch my video today, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope I don't promise too much when I say next week there will be a new video about my reading journal. It's been highly requested, and I guess I should finally give you what you want. If you watched the entire video, please put a green emoji in your comments so that I'll know. As the sun sets on this coffee shop that I spent 4 hours filming at, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of my lovely patrons over on Patreon. You guys are the best, and I am so grateful to have you. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will all join me as I continue doing my best in life and making art in this new journal. I hope that you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!